Alright guys, Touchscreen back again today. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday once again today, and we're going to talk about this very interesting Twitch clip I think that came out a couple of days ago from ZooMaa's stream. They were talking about Scump, and well, it was ZooMaa and Crimsix on stream talking about how fans go too hard on Scump when he doesn't have good matches. And this is very interesting really in the whole context of Crimsix in the past, well, the early drama that we had early season, right? Crimsix versus Scump, Dallas Empire versus Chicago Huntsmen, and now Crims coming out and, well, saying in this clip how, you know, he thinks Scump gets too much hate when he doesn't have great tournaments and great matches in series. It's no it's no secret Scump is a better player on LAN than he is online. In the online arena, his stats hasn't been as good as they were on LAN, and that's really no degree of surprise given Scump's history in Call of Duty. Then again, of course, Scump and Formal, they're not going anywhere on this team. Like, you're not going to get rid of Scump basically on the Huntsman until he wants to retire, even if he is even if his numbers start to fall off. And some people have been saying in previous events that, you know, is Scump the problem on the team? Is that something they have to think about? And I don't think that's the case, but it's not absolutely out of the question, right? If you're looking at players that you would you would get rid of in theory if there were no names attached, and you look at the statistics and what they're putting up in terms of numbers and what they've done against other players in similar roles in the league, you're probably looking at Scump's performance this season as we're looking in a second and thinking, okay, maybe he could step it up somewhat, but I have no doubt that he'll do that when he's back on LAN. Very clutch player, of course, as he has been throughout Call of Duty history. And well, ZooMaa and Crimsix are saying that when he doesn't have great maps, which of course is difficult to have with an MP5 on this game, first of all, especially in an online arena with 12 Hz, where the 60 Hz of course in the professional games, and the M4 is even better in that environment, so it's difficult to be good with an MP5 in the first place. And as ZooMaa and Crimsix are saying in this clip, like, it's actually pretty damn difficult to have good effects. And if you are having a bad map, you know, everyone has bad maps, everyone has bad starts to a map, and yeah, just thinking that well, some of the reactivity from some of the fans is not well deserved. So I'll share this clip on screen for you guys right now. Crimsix, what he has to say isn't exactly clear. Like ZooMaa, you can hear much clearer because I had to get rid of the music that was playing obnoxiously loud in the background, so it's somewhat muffled. But Crimsix effectively says, like, one of the games he started off 9-12 and everyone starts going mental, and that's not justified.
The way people talk about Scump, it actually makes me mad, dude.
Well, the fact that he was 9-12 and people were like freaking out.
Dude, listen, people have bad maps, bad series. People have bad events, bro. People have bad events, bro. That doesn't mean that you judge a player off of fucking, bro. Deadass, put this shit on Reddit, cause y'all need to hear this shit for real. Cause you Reddit motherfuckers, bro, you don't understand, like, bro. So, yo, CoD is day to day, dude. Like,
so I thought it would be worth bringing up some of the statistics we've seen so far this season. This is the Huntsman and Atlanta phase EasyMax spreadsheet. I'll leave linked for you guys down below if you guys do want to check it out, because very, very cool stuff on here. There's like the plus minus of the entire season long. There's like the kill record that each individual has on certain game modes, which is really impressive. But here we go. This is what it looks like, right? And we know that Atlanta phase obviously statistically across the board has been phenomenal. This is what Scump's looking like. So on this Chicago Huntsman squad, bit of an interesting one, of course, because you had Gunless early season, now Pristini coming into the team, Formals at a 1.09, RC's at a 1.08. You'll also notice AKD, which, well, if the AKD is higher than the KD, that basically means you're a good search and destroy player. If it's the other way around, you tend to be worse in search and destroy than you are in the respawn modes on average. So Scump pretty much sitting about a dead on 1.0, which is, pretty solid, right? As your second SMG player, Pristini going in first typically, Envoy's up there as well, probably the most aggressive. Scumpa's, 1.0 dead isn't really too bad going at all, and the entire season long, he's been pretty solid player. However, in the online arena, he's definitely been somewhat muted compared to what he was doing on LAN earlier in this season, and there's definitely some people who say, like, when Scump has a bad map, and of course his reputation means that this kind of thing's going to happen, right? He's the biggest name in Call of Duty. When he doesn't have a great map, people of course are going to be saying, oh, well, he needs to step it up or whatever. I do think that's kind of a consistent trend throughout Call of Duty history on Scump's teams, that because of course they've been the most popular team, partly because Scump is on the team, but it tends to be that some fans of these squads, when they see this team having a poor event or a poor map or a poor series, there always has to be a scapegoat, right? It can't just be that the team is not meshing well, or it can't just be that the other team is actually playing better Call of Duty on this day. It has to be that one of the players is underperforming and needs to be replaced or something like that. And we've seen this again and again and again, right? Karma getting scapegoated, not even just by the fans, but also by the players, right? When he got dropped in the World War II days, you could argue. And nowadays we see a similar thing where players don't have great maps. People call on Pristini to get dropped when he doesn't have a good map. Not saying this is everyone by any means, but there are some people out there like this. And I think it's a similar thing when Scump doesn't have a good map, right? And his reputation, of course, precedes him in that sense, and means that that's probably more likely to be said, given, well, the more fans you have, the more haters you have. That's kind of just how it goes in that sense. And, well, these are some of the replies in the Reddit thread, which I'll leave linked down below, talking about Crimsix, saying nice things about Scump in that clip, and as Dashy says here, Crim doesn't actually hate anyone from the old OpTic team, just did it for clicks and did it for early season drama, the, you know, I'll forgive but I'll never forget, or, you know, whatever it was early season, right, with that drama and then the back and forth that we had at the time. So that was always entertaining. Like, I kind of always imagined they did somewhat get on behind the scenes, but I imagine there's still a little bit of a rivalry going on there. Like, we've heard Crimsix talk about how he has the poster up of when they won the World Championship to kind of, you know, spur him on with, you know, Scump and Formal to spur him on to beat them and become a better player, because Crimsix is all about winning, right? He wants to chase those 40 wins overall. Champs is an opportunity to do it for sure, because I imagine people in Call of Duty history will probably count Champs because it's just a massive tournament, even if it is online. So, but yeah, still interesting to see that these guys, you know, kind of get on, or at least like Crimsix has good respect for Scump, of course. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They were one of the longest standing duos in Call of Duty history. And as Tico says right here, a similar thing about, you know, the Chicago fan base in a sense, and it's not just the Chicago fan base really, but it's people who have come over from the OpTic gaming team and are newly into Call of Duty. I think that's kind of a rite of passage that a lot of people go through in Call of Duty when you're relatively new to the scene. A lot of the time you'll follow the OpTic gaming of the past or the Chicago Huntsmen, and people who are relatively new to the scene and maybe don't understand fully the concept that you can have bad maps and can regain and all this kind of stuff, you know, more easily to say things, right? And it's probably a thing we see very often in the YouTube chat. And so yeah, this is some discussion on this on Reddit. Just to finish off the video, I wanted to talk about this. You know, this is from Seth, different Seth, of course, to Seth Abner, but I thought this is a pretty funny back and forth between Crimsix and MattG. Of course, they teamed with Scump back in the day on the World War II OpTic gaming squad, which didn't have the greatest result at Champs. But Crimsix tweets this out: "What color do I give off? You know, kind innocent, you know, etc, etc." MattG replies, "None of those colors do your awful personality justice." And you know, then I just wanted to bring up this again, which I always think is hilarious when I think about this. So this is on the World War II team, of course, back in the day. I had one bad series during the league in World War II, and Crimsix left the book Mind Gym in front of my bedroom door. He's mentioned this a few times, of course, when he was on the team with Octane at the time, with Scump, Crimsix, and co. That, well, they had some decent results early on. Their hardpoint was actually spectacular. It was really the Search and Destroy that kind of let them down. I mean, the slaying on this team, in theory, was just out of this world. But yeah, they had that 3-0 defeat against EG at the World Championships, was kind of sent them packing and sent, well, all the players onto kind of bigger and better things in the future, to be honest. And they've all won events, even being online since then, for sure. So this is the book, if you guys aren't aware of it: Mind Gym, An Athlete's Guide to Inner Excellence. Gary Mack with David Castevens, forward by Alex Rodriguez. So yeah, this is the one. I just thought this was pretty funny. Even the thumbnail, to be honest, or even the front cover cracks me up on this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. As always, I would greatly appreciate it. Intrigued to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Securing Bravo.